What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Planet Destiny video. Hey, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Titan Striker subclass and breaking down some strategies that will help you maximize your potential of coming out on top in engagements where you are outnumbered or just generally managing crowds. Here's a nice breaker to start out with, and we'll come back to this play, but first, one of the best tools in the Striker's arsenal is the shoulder charge. It grants both mobility and lethality, as well as additional survivability. You can make quick directional changes, can kill in one hit, and can also regenerate health on hit. So there are a couple key components to using it correctly. You're definitely going to want to use transfusion. This is going to give you the unique ability of charging into a group and using an enemy as a means of restoring your health and setting you up for the next fight. Another key component to making shoulder charge work for you is making high approaches, as this will help keep you from getting picked off mid-sprint by anyone hard scoping. Now back to that initial breaker medal. I made a high approach around the corner, and you can clearly see this hunter hard scoping the hallway. Generally a good tactic for getting easy kills on Guardians walking around at head level, but I avoid a potential death here by going up over his line of sight, and this sets me up for the shoulder charge, which initiates a chain of events leading to a 4-piece. The shoulder charge fills my super energy, I can drop the Fist of Havoc for the triple kill, and here's the last piece of the puzzle. Fist of Havoc temporarily puts you into a third-person camera view, so your time is really best spent rotating that third-person camera to locate another potential target before you come out of the animation. Also make sure that you check your radar during that momentary downtime, that way you have a plan, or in this case a plan C, for when you come out of the Fist of Havoc animation.
Look at them fall!
And here you'll see the benefit of running transfusion and deliberately utilizing it. I make a high approach in a 2v1 scenario, and I tank almost enough damage to kill me, but the shoulder charge restores my health, so that by the time I turn to engage the second opponent, I'm almost back to full health already. So it sort of evens the scales for the next guy, and that's the value in using it. So definitely make sure that you try to get used to making high approaches. It will save you some frustrating deaths down the road when rounding corners in the Crucible. And another skill I choose to roll with in the Striker subclass is Death from Above, because it couples very well with making high approaches. It lets you accurately place your smash and give you greater control about where exactly you drop it. Here I get a double kill with Death from Above on the B objective, and then use my vertical space to avoid 3 opponents' firing lines and rack up multiple kills. It's also worth noting that the Striker has one of the best grenades in the game, the Lightning Grenade. The Lightning Grenade can apply instant damage with no fuse time, pulse multiple times, and can be used defensively to zone off areas of the map, like blocking an opponent's ability to push up on a friendly ghost, as seen here in this engagement, where I drop my smash, jump and pull a 180, and I need to get back up there for the revive, so I just throw that lightning grenade in the back left corner where I know the guy is, and that frees me up to come up and get the revive and not feel like I'm in danger. They can also be used to zone off enemy ghosts, preventing revives. In this case, the Warlock decides to go for this revive anyway, but the grenade does enough damage that all I have to do is hit one headshot on him, and that leaves me with an easy res snipe to tie up the round. Now, because of the strength and versatility of the Lightning Grenade, I like using the Armamentarium and Max Discipline so that I can almost always have the option of using one to survive an engagement or even lead an engagement and prime at least one target. The Striker definitely has a lot of good options for exotic armor. Twilight Garrison, though nerfed, is still a good option, but these days I find myself defaulting to the Armamentarium. Now, because the Striker is so good at quickly inserting themselves into the fray using things like Titan Skating and shoulder charging together, it's best to have at least one close range weapon in your loadout. It can even be as simple as using something like a high impact hand cannon, something in the Finalis Peril, Lord High Fixer family, or even the First Curse family, something that can easily mop up enemies damaged by a lightning grenade or a Fist of Havoc that didn't quite get the job done on enemies further out in the radius. I tend to like using fusion rifles in my Striker loadout, or the occasional shotgun, and sometimes even going shoddy snipers with No Land Beyond and a legendary shotgun, or even the universal remote with one of my favorite legendary snipers. Now, shoulder charge can be a cruel mistress and leave you short stopping and super vulnerable in the time just after activation where you can't move, and it can also leave you trading or often just taking a face full of buckshot from a shotgunner and lying embarrassed on the ground. But one tactic I often use to help avoid this is actually jumping over a shotgunner's head and pulling a 180 midair. They don't expect it, and they often whiff their shotgun blast, and the shoulder charge auto locks on targets in the direction you're facing. It's not an automatic kill. I mean, you still have to point the camera at the enemy, but if you're using bumper jumper or a scuff or clawing like I do, it's an easy move to pull off and it feels pretty BA. While we hope this has been helpful, remember to make high approaches around corners, rock transfusion, use those lightning grenades to zone off rooms and targets, and juke the crap out of shotgunners looking to ruin your fun. This has been True Vanguard with Plan of Destiny, and I'll catch you in the Crucible.